September 20th, York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Eric, I got to know one thing. Have you ever seen the rain?
Clearance, Clearwater.
Yep.
The second you said it, I knew exactly what you meant. What a song to justify just how dry of a stretch we've seen so far.
Seriously.
So, great comment there. Matter of fact, we got another dry day on tap today. But before we get to that, though, outside this morning, we've got some areas of patchy fog. Oneonta, a foggy start again this morning. No high-level cloud cover preventing it compared to the past few days. But as you can see here, some locations, especially down towards Ithaca and parts of the Finger Lakes, have near zero visibility, but you head up north, visibility a little bit better. 55 in Rome, 50 in Hamilton. It's in the 40s up in parts of the North Country, but it's dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. And how about this? Another summer-like day here in central New York. Upper 70s, lots of sunshine. And although we can enjoy lots of sun, this could have an effect on the fall foliage this year. We're going to talk about that in a lot more detail with our fall foliage report coming up in that full forecast. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. The United County Sheriffs are investigating a...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:11. We're getting you set to head to the road this morning on the Munson CommuteCast. And first off, taking a live look in Cooperstown, it's turned to be quite a foggy start today. Clear skies have allowed prime radiational cooling. Basically, the surface is cooling much faster than up above, causing a near surface inversion and therefore producing plenty of fog in parts of the valleys, primarily southern valleys, but in the Mohawk Valley, especially here or just in the mouth of it in downtown Utica, looking at almost fogless conditions. Now we're tracking if any fog will develop through the Mohawk Valley. We have a look at some of the satellite feeds off screen right now. But again, traffic tracker, no accidents to report of this morning. There's some road work being done, of course, across the area. You have a full list on our website, WKTV.com. Today, we're starting out with patchy fog. That fog lifts, and we've got sunshine by this afternoon with summer temperatures. And enjoy these summer temperatures because not too often will we see these as we head into the next few weeks. We'll talk about those temperatures as well as how this weekend is shaping up and the fall foliage report straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The groundbreaking on construction of the...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Our final days of summer are upon us. And as we take a look outside in downtown Utica right now, it's a clear start, but I'm seeing some fog trying to form from the Mohawk River, pushing in at least south down to downtown Utica right now. But regardless, most of the area, we're seeing clear skies, temperatures in the 50s with comfortable levels of humidity. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. If you're seeing this right now, it's because I turned up the sensitivity to normal sensitivity. This is what appears to be lots of rain, but it's actually what we can see in the atmosphere, which is called an inversion. The air near the surface is cooling much faster than way above, and the radar beams reflect off that inversion and send a signal down closer to the surface. So we're getting lots of interference, including bugs, birds, and anything that could pick up in the atmosphere. So this is why sometimes on clear nights, if you're a weather whiz, if you like looking at radars and you see all these radar blooms, that's what takes place. But again, fall begins on Sunday, officially at 8:43. That's when the sun is directly over the equator, and that's when officially we enter the fall season. Now, as we take a look at our fall foliage report, again, things change almost every day, and thank you to all of you who have been submitting your fall foliage reports. This is for this weekend. Midpoints for most of the Adirondacks, as well as some locations in northern Otsego County heading closer to the border of Schoharie County. But pretty much all of central New York starting to see some decent color here and there. Although the lowest elevations, especially as you head out closer to Syracuse, will be still patchy locations with color. Now, this is why I was mentioning earlier on how this dry weather might impact the fall colors. 10 days and counting without rainfall, same amount since around 2020, where we had 10 days or more between September 18th and September 27th. And with extended dry weather, usually that means that colors will get more muted. And that's been the case so far with some of the foliage reporters from the North Country. But dry weather sticks around, at least for the start of the weekend. Cooler weather moves in by next week. High pressure is doing its best to keep our area dry for the next 24 to 48 hours, including heading into Sunday and the early part of Monday. But for now, we've got plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees. Before we approach our final day of summer Saturday, some clouds here and there, but sunshine remains pretty prevalent. And so your 7-day forecast still keeping the daytime hours dry for most of the area Saturday and Sunday. But as we head into next week, that's when we'll start to see slightly cooler temperatures, not a major cool down, but enough to remind you that the seasons are changing and we'll see some more rain showers as well. So this dry stretch is going to be slowly coming to an end with much more active weather regarding rain showers heading into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. A growing number of people in Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A little foggy to start out. I saw it driving in. It was kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. As it was starting to lower down over the Utica Marsh, kind of made you feel like you were in a plane almost, going up into the clouds.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. And if you've ever flown through them too, again, it's somewhat of a bumpy flight up because you got all those churning winds, can't quite go above that cloud layer. Well, those inversions or something else. And in fact, we have one near the surface today. That's why we are seeing those areas of fog. Here is a look in Oneonta right now, which is a pretty common sight of fog, especially over the past several weeks. And even the same thing as you head out to parts of Cooperstown as well. Around the state, we've got pockets of near zero visibility, especially down in the Finger Lakes, and some isolated spots of fog forming as you approach the southern valleys and then into the Mohawk Valley. The Mohawk Valley, though, the fog is very isolated. Currently sitting at 55 in Rome, 50 in Hamilton, in the 40s in parts of the Adirondacks. And the radar is looking completely dry right now. We've got a sunny day on tap. That fog lifts to completely sunny skies with highs in the upper 70s, low 80s. Now, sunshine is fantastic, but this could affect the fall foliage and maybe not in the best way. We'll talk about that, plus how things are trending for temperatures as well as rainfall heading into the weekend straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, the Vice President's...
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday. If you're waking up with us right now, we are showing our photo of the day this morning. And this one, I feel, is a very good summer photo. I want to end the summer photo season on a summery note. Look at this flower here taken in Utica by one of the groundskeepers, Danny at Munson. And as you can see here, this is a Kamano Zoe Dahlia. some of the easier to pronounce names. Of course, if I say that and I pronounce it wrong, go figure. But notice on there too, looks to be a grasshopper on the side of it. So amazing photo right here, great photography skills. If you want to showcase your photography skills and submit a photo that we can show for our photo of the day, send it to the link right there on top of your screen, wktv.com/weather/pics. Starting on Monday of next week, we'll be in our fall photo season, so you can head to the fall tab on the website and submit your photos there. Today, it's a quiet start. Temperatures in the 50s. We'll warm up into the 70s by this afternoon with the summer weather continuing. But will that stick around? Well, the details straight ahead. Ben?
There's a grasshopper on that dahlia, too.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I mentioned that, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Go figure. All right, thank you very much, Eric. The World Lacrosse Box Championship.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. This Friday's starting out relatively quiet. However, the only travel impact this morning will be running into some areas of patchy fog. A live look in Cooperstown right now where not nearly as foggy as a few moments ago. Oneonta a little bit more foggy, but we're seeing some of that fog blow from the Mohawk River through parts of downtown Utica early this morning. Not particularly dense, but enough to see the wispy fog layers in the downtown buildings area. Currently sitting at 55 at Griffiths and Rome with comfortable levels of humidity, dew point of 53. That's sunrise post 7 p.m. and that's sunset post 7 p.m. and that sunrise getting close to that 7 a.m. start. So pretty soon, barring daylight saving time, we will not be seeing that sunrise during our sunrise show. Radar is quiet. We're just seeing an inversion where the radar beams are reflecting off that inversion and picking up some more particulates in the atmosphere, such as birds and bugs. But as we head into the final days of summer, the first day of fall begins at 8:43 Sunday morning, where the sun is directly over Earth's equator. Now, as we head into fall, of course, the first weekend officially of fall, here is our fall foliage report for the next few days. As you can see here, most of the North Country and Adirondack area in the midpoint. Same thing for some higher elevations in parts of Otsego on the border of Schoharie County. And these are moving fairly quickly regarding the amount of foliage we are seeing. Now, as with the lack of rainfall we've seen over the past several days, in fact 10 in counting, this dry spell is likely going to be muting some of these colors, unfortunately. That's just the case with how the way chlorophyll works within some of these leaves. And it is being proven with some reports in the North Country. Some viewers have been telling us that the colors do appear to be muted. But again, feel free to submit your foliage photos to us so we get a good gauge of how things are shaping up. High pressure remains dominant even until this weekend. It's very thin, but it's doing its best to prevent rain from reaching us at least until early next week. And so just very quick on our Skycast, we've got temperatures in the 70s today, lots of sunshine, and will remain dry for the most part heading into the weekend, barring an isolated shower as that front approaching begins to weaken. First day of fall on Sunday, and then we'll see a slight cool down heading into the beginning and middle of next week with high temperatures in the upper 60s and a good shot for rain, especially Wednesday and Thursday, with overnight lows still not too bad in the low 50s. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The U.S. Coast Guard held its
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's a bit of a foggy one out there, especially in the southern hills in Otsego County. Looking at the Oneonta cam, you can't see a thing.
Yeah, we got some fog moving in. Typical foggy start in the city of the hills. Being there for around 4 years of my life, something I got to experience pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Taking a live look out there right now. Again, Oneonta, seeing a little bit of fog, and I feel like a little bit might be taken a little lightly. We do have plenty of fog across the area. In parts of the southern valleys, mainly Hamilton, Binghamton, Ithaca, all reporting 1 mile or near 0 mile visibility. And I'm looking at our feeds right now. It looks like that the Mohawk Valley is trying its best to form some fog. You probably notice a thin cloud layer over the Mohawk River, but it's not nearly as widespread as areas to the south. 50s across the area early this morning. Dry on the radar. In our next 12 hours favor more summer weather, sunshine, upper 70s, low 80s. And we'll still see mainly dry weather heading into the weekend, cutting it close for rain showers. But we'll talk about those rain chances in detail, plus our latest weekend fall foliage forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Oneida County sheriffs are investigating a tragic accident involving a 3-year-old boy who died after he was struck by a car in his driveway. It happened on Stokes-Lee Center Road in the town of Lee. Oneida County sheriffs tell us. Jessica Fury of Lee Center.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back. The time now is 6:11. We're getting you set ahead of the road this morning on the Munson Commutecast. And first off, a live look in Cooperstown right now. The fog has rolled back in. It was decreasing a little bit earlier today, but it's back now, currently sitting at 52 degrees. So definitely a cool start to the day, but we'll climb quickly with these sunny skies. Downtown Utica right now, that very thin layer of fog has since eroded. But as you can see, way out in the distance, some clouds. That's that low pressure system way out along the coast that is going to be missing us for the next few days. But we could see a few clouds from it, as well as maybe a potential spotty shower later on in the weekend. But again, most of us remain entirely dry. Traffic flow right now looking pretty okay. We've got no accidents to report of across the traffic tracker. And again, today temperatures starting out in the 50s and warming up to the 60s by the late morning, with areas of patchy fog that burns off and sunshine moves in by this afternoon, with high temperatures climbing into the upper 70s to low 80s. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The groundbreaking on construction of the Micron.
Spoil your day. Tune in for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, brought to you by Munson. Visit Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Visiting Munson and the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, both free and both Utica's very own. Remember, all roads lead to Munson. Better service, better prices, and local company. It's Wheelock Disposal. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. The time now is 6:17. We've got gorgeous weather expected today, but it's a foggy start across the area. Let's take a live look in Cooperstown right now. We are seeing that fog still remaining relatively persistent across most of the southern valleys. However, the Mohawk Valley is looking rather quiet at this point, with only just some isolated spots seeing some fog. Downtown Utica right now, sunshine, clear skies, at least the twilight of the sunshine out in the distance, and current conditions sitting at 55 with clear skies, comfortable levels of humidity. Radar is dry. We're tracking that inversion near the surface. That's why we're seeing a lot more green interference on the radar. And as we head into the first days of fall this weekend, our final day of summer is tomorrow. Let's take a look at that fall foliage report for this weekend. We've got midpoint levels of foliage expected in the North Country, Old Forge area, heading closer to the high peaks, and parts of Otsego County near Schoharie County. The highest elevations seeing roughly 40 or so % changing of the leaves so far. But one thing to mention, though, is that these leaves, at least from some reports, are rather muted, and that's what happens when you get a lot of dry weather in September without a whole lot of rainfall. Some of these leaves will fall still green, and all those vibrant colors won't be nearly as present. Last year we had a very rainy September, and that led to a very colorful fall. So but the opposite happening this year. But again, if you want to submit your report, send it to our email, weather@wktv.com, our website, any way that you can submit your photos so you can let us know how the foliage is in your area. But again, September looking dry, 10 days straight so far, 11 including today, with no rainfall, gradually beating the record set back in 2020. But again, those records go back only to 2007. Bigger picture, here comes low pressure off the coast. It's trying to spin its way inland, but it stays out to the east. Our next weather maker, this cold front here, tries to move through, but again, that high pressure over us right now is going to fight to stop these showers from moving in. We got sunshine today. It's dry, no rainfall expected. Heading into the weekend, we're cutting it very close. Look at how some of these showers start to arrive from the west, and they'll just fall apart. That high pressure erodes those showers as they move in. They almost become stationary, then fade away. So most of the weekend is looking dry. You have any weekend plans? Again, we're not talking about anything regarding a washout, but a stray shower possible, at least because those fronts are so close. But regardless, we're still leaving Saturday and Sunday mainly dry. First day of fall, of course, on Sunday, a high 73. Then more fall-like temperatures follow. Not a huge cool down, but enough to notice a somewhat changing season, 60s and some rain showers by the middle of next week. Ben?
Eric, thank you. A growing number of people are
With Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
As we mentioned, some fog continuing to be seen over parts of the area, but as the sun comes out, it's expected to lighten up a bit, right?
Yeah, lighten up, and on top of that, another dry day is expected. So I think your song choice, for those that tuned in the very start of the show at 5 a.m.
Have you ever seen the rain?
You ever seen the rain? Great song. Those of you that listen to some Creedence Clearwater.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Creedence.
Can't beat them.
Creedence, yeah. And out there this morning, we've got quiet conditions, areas of fog. As you can see here around the state, near zero visibility in Hamilton and in Binghamton, with Ithaca reporting 1 mile of visibility. You can see in Oneonta, very reduced visibility from our camera atop Hartwick College. Temperature sitting at 55 in Rome, 50 in Hamilton, in the 40s up in Saranac Lakes of the North Country. A little bit cooler early this morning, but the radar is looking dry, and we'll still see yet again another dry day here in central New York. Now today, sunshine, temperatures upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And this is great weather, great September weather, but this could impact the fall foliage. We'll talk about how it impacts it, plus our latest fall foliage report for this weekend and the forecast for this weekend straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast. It's never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning in the Vice President's...
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday, our final summer photo of the day. I figured I'd show something more summer-like. I've been showing a few fall photos here and there throughout the week. This one is a Camanozodalia, if I pronounce that correctly, taken in Utica by one of the groundskeepers at Munson, Danny. And this right here, amazing photo, great photography skills. If you can catch it on the side of the screen right there too, even a grasshopper on one part of the flower. So if you want to showcase your photography skills, show anything fall foliage related to, because again, our fall season of photos begins on Monday of next week. Send your photo to WKTV.com/weather/pics. And of course, as always, include your name if you wish to get credit. Today, though, it's a dry start. Temperatures in the 50s, climbing to the 60s by this late morning, eventually the upper 70s by this afternoon. And as the fog lifts, we'll see dry conditions continuing through most of the weekend. Chance for a spotty shower Saturday or Sunday. We'll talk about those chances straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The World Lacrosse Box Championships are taking...
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. It's a dry start to the day today, with some locations waking up to some fog. It's been a common sight in parts of the southern valleys over the past month or so. In downtown Cooperstown right now, there's that fog layer near the surface. In Utica, not so foggy. We can see way out in the distance that low pressure off the coast of New England. That's the extent of the cloud layer. So if you're wondering what those clouds are to the east, that's where they are. Currently sitting at 55 degrees, comfortable levels of humidity with a dew point of 53. And the radar right now is looking dry. The inversion is starting to lift, and we're seeing a lot less of that interference with the light green on the radar. Now, with the dry weather in place, we could see some great viewing of some of the foliage in parts of the North Country this weekend. This is our fall foliage report for this weekend, including parts of the southern valleys, especially eastern Otsego County, the far end of Schoharie County. And although I say it's potentially good viewing, the dry weather we've been seeing over the past several weeks is going to have an impact on the fall foliage. Again, our dry spell is now at 10 days and counting, 11 days including today, which will be the longest we've seen this extent of dry weather, a stretch of it, since records began in 2007 when the records moved to Griffiths in Rome. And with the dry weather, it could cause muted colors with some of the fall foliage. And there are some reports already with some of our sky watchers in the North Country, Eric and Sean and Inlet, both reporting muted colors. Bigger picture, we've got sunshine today, high pressure still keeping things quiet, and we got this low pressure off the coast and this cold front pushing east into central New York. Now, this is going to weaken as it moves into our area as that high pressure erodes those rain showers. And so you can see right here in our skycast, today, sunshine, completely dry weather. Tonight, lows falling down into the upper 50s, low 60s. On Saturday, we can see opportunities for sunshine, but watch as this front moves in from the west. It will gradually fall apart. That high pressure, again, eats away at some of those showers, but a stray one could move in. So not 100% ruled out, but most of our area remains dry for Saturday as well as for Sunday. And so your 7-day forecast, following the first day of fall on Sunday, we'll start to see a little bit of cool down heading into the beginning of next week. 68 the high Monday and Tuesday with a better shot for rain showers as we approach the middle of next week with highs in the upper 60s and lows throughout the nights down into the 50s. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The U.S. Coast Guard held its third.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. We are starting out the day today with some quiet conditions. That fog has lifted, and we'll start to see a lot more sunshine as we approach the afternoon hours. Radar and satellite across the Northeast shows that low pressure still sticking off the coast of New England and a cold front approaching from the west. Now we got high pressure here locally. This is going to keep our area dry for the time being, but we'll be sandwiched in between these two systems as we head into the weekend, and we'll let you know exactly how that ends up in just a few minutes. But our fall foliage report showing plenty of color across parts of central New York. Midpoint is starting to pop up in the North Country for this weekend. And North Country, Adirondacks, as well as parts of eastern Otsego County and western Schoharie County, and parts of northern Otsego County as well, at least with my trip down there. But something to mention too, although we're going to be entering the peak fall colors in the Adirondacks heading into next week, we've got a dry spell. 10 days and counting without rainfall. Today includes 11, and this is the longest stretch since records were moved to Rome back in 2007. Now, what does that mean? Well, with fall foliage, usually when you have an extended period of warmth and dryness and late summer or most of September, usually you get muted colors. Now, last year we had lots of rain in September, and that gave way to a beautiful fall. It was a gorgeous foliage season. But this year, a lot of our reports coming in from across the Adirondacks say that, well, the colors are not nearly as impressive as years past. Now, the temperatures will remain still summer-like for today and into the start of the weekend. We'll cool down as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. More fall-like conditions with more rain, and hopefully the rain will not be heavy enough that it will be dropping a lot of the leaves, but again, time will tell. Bigger picture, here's that high pressure keeping things quiet today. Now watch how this low pressure tries to shift eastward, and that cold front out to the west will start to push east. And notice how that high pressure is doing its best to erode all that rain getting surged from both directions. And it's doing a pretty good job based off of the latest data coming in for this weekend. Our skycast today showing lots of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 70s with a decent light breeze from the east. Tonight and into tomorrow, you can see a few clouds popping up, plenty of opportunity for sun, but again, watch how those showers move in from the west and they fall apart as enough sinking air is combating these showers from pushing and organizing into our region. There's still going to be an isolated shower here and there in pockets where the air isn't sinking fast enough, but still plenty of dry weather expected for Saturday as well as Sunday. Sunday, less of a chance for rain compared to Saturday as most of that front is already eroded. And so your 7-day forecast, we're still leaving the rain icons out for Saturday and Sunday. If you do see a shower, it's a once in a blue moon type opportunity for that on Saturday. On Monday, that's when we'll start to see this rainy pattern move in. And it'll be rather unsettled for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, with high temperatures cooler into the upper 60s with lows in the 50s.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. We are starting out the day today with some quiet conditions. That fog has lifted and we'll start to see a lot more sunshine as we approach the afternoon hours. Radar and satellite across the Northeast shows that low pressure still sticking off the coast of New England and a cold front approaching from the west. Now we got high pressure here locally. This is going to keep our area dry for the time being, but we'll be sandwiched in between these two systems as we head into the weekend, and we'll let you know exactly how that ends up in just a few minutes. But our fall foliage report showing plenty of color across parts of central New York. Midpoint is starting to pop up in the North Country for this weekend, and North Country, Adirondacks, as well as parts of eastern Otsego County and western Schoharie County, and parts of northern Otsego County as well, at least with my trip down there. But something to mention too, although we're going to be entering the peak fall colors in the Adirondacks heading into next week, we've got a dry spell. 10 days and counting without rainfall. Today includes 11, and this is the longest stretch since records were moved to Rome back in 2007. Now, what does that mean? Well, with fall foliage, usually when you have an extended period of warmth and dryness and late summer or most of September, usually you get muted colors. Now, last year we had lots of rain in September, and that gave way to a beautiful fall. It was a gorgeous foliage season. But this year, a lot of our reports coming in from across the Adirondacks say that, well, the colors are not nearly as impressive as years past. Now, the temperatures will remain still summer-like for today and into the start of the weekend. We'll cool down as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. More fall-like conditions with more rain, and hopefully the rain will not be heavy enough that it will be dropping a lot of the leaves. But again, time will tell. Bigger picture, here's that high pressure keeping things quiet today. Now watch how this low pressure tries to shift eastward, and that cold front out to the west will start to push east. And notice how that high pressure is doing its best to erode all that rain getting surged from both directions. And it's doing a pretty good job based off of the latest data coming in for this weekend. Our skycast today showing lots of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 70s with a decent light breeze from the east. Tonight and into tomorrow, you can see a few clouds popping up, plenty of opportunity for sun, but again, watch how those showers move in from the west and they fall apart as enough sinking air is combating these showers from pushing and organizing into our region. There's still going to be an isolated shower here and there in pockets where the air isn't sinking fast enough, but still plenty of dry weather expected for Saturday as well as Sunday. Sunday, less of a chance for rain compared to Saturday as most of that front is already eroded. And so your 7-day forecast, we're still leaving the rain icons out for Saturday and Sunday. If you do see a shower, it's a once in a blue moon type opportunity for that on Saturday. On Monday, that's when we'll start to see this rainy pattern move in. And it'll be rather unsettled for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, with high temperatures cooler into the upper 60s with lows in the 50s.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. We are starting out the day today with some quiet conditions. That fog has lifted and we'll start to see a lot more sunshine as we approach the afternoon hours. Radar and satellite across the Northeast shows that low pressure still sticking off the coast of New England and a cold front approaching from the west. Now we got high pressure here locally. This is going to keep our area dry for the time being, but we'll be sandwiched in between these two systems as we head into the weekend, and we'll let you know exactly how that ends up in just a few minutes. But our fall foliage report showing plenty of color across parts of central New York. Midpoint is starting to pop up in the North Country for this weekend, and North Country, Adirondacks, as well as parts of eastern Otsego County and western Schoharie County, into parts of northern Otsego County as well, at least with my trip down there. But something to mention too, although we're going to be entering the peak fall colors in the Adirondacks heading into next week, we've got a dry spell. 10 days and counting without rainfall. Today includes 11, and this is the longest stretch since records were moved to Rome back in 2007. Now, what does that mean? Well, with fall foliage, usually when you have an extended period of warmth and dryness in late summer or most of September, usually you get muted colors. Now, last year we had lots of rain in September, and that gave way to a beautiful fall. It was a gorgeous foliage season. But this year, a lot of our reports coming in from across the Adirondacks say that, well, the colors are not nearly as impressive as years past. Now, the temperatures will remain still summer-like for today and into the start of the weekend. We'll cool down as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. More fall-like conditions with more rain, and hopefully the rain will not be heavy enough that it will be dropping a lot of the leaves. But again, time will tell. Bigger picture, here's that high pressure keeping things quiet today. Now watch how this low pressure tries to shift eastward, and that cold front out to the west will start to push east. And notice how that high pressure, it's doing its best to erode all that rain getting surged from both directions. And it's doing a pretty good job based off of the latest data coming in for this weekend. Our Skycast today showing lots of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 70s with a decent light breeze from the east. Tonight and into tomorrow, you can see a few clouds popping up, plenty of opportunity for sun, but again, watch how those showers move in from the west and they fall apart as enough sinking air is combating these showers from pushing and organizing into our region. There's still going to be an isolated shower here and there in pockets where the air isn't sinking fast enough, but still plenty of dry weather expected for Saturday as well as Sunday. Sunday, less of a chance for rain compared to Saturday as most of that front is already eroded. And so your 7-day forecast, we're still leaving the rain icons out for Saturday and Sunday. If you do see a shower, it's a once in a blue moon type opportunity for that on Saturday. On Monday, that's when we'll start to see this rainy pattern move in. And it'll be rather unsettled for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, with high temperatures cooler into the upper 60s with lows in the 50s.
The news with Ben Kinney.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary this noon.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it's been a while since we've seen the rain. Have you ever seen the rain, Eric? Quoting Creedence Clearwater Revival there.
I have not seen the rain in quite some time.
Been about 10 days.
Yeah, about 10 or almost 11 days now. And even then, we only had a drizzle of rain showers before that. So we actually had a longer dry stretch overall. Now, outside at this point, we've got lots of sunshine, a beautiful afternoon, and almost seems like these days are blending together. I feel like it's the same story of sunshine and warm temperatures. Now, I'm a big fan of beautiful weather. 70s and sunshine. I know we don't get so much of this in the late fall and winter time, but I know for some of you, some of your gardens, some other stuff that might need the rain coming very soon. Now, unfortunately, though, it will look to hold off. But for those of you who enjoy the dry and sunny weather, well, we've got good news regarding this weekend. Radar right now is looking entirely dry, and the next 12 hours favor gorgeous conditions. 70s and sunshine, clear skies tonight with lows falling down only into the low 60s, upper 50s. We'll have a detailed forecast of this weekend, plus if you're heading out to see some of the fall foliage, we'll talk about that forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Staying on the story of the
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday, everyone. Our final days of summer are here. Matter of fact, today we've got gorgeous conditions in Oneonta right now. Plenty of sunshine and temperatures starting out in the 70s this afternoon at this point. Currently 75 and sunny at Griffiths and Rome. And as we head throughout the area, again, we got similar temperatures and similar conditions. Sunshine all across the board. Slightly humid, though. Dew point at 60. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're tracking lots of quiet conditions across all of our area. Now, heading into the weekend, it's going to be partly sunny, a late isolated shower possible in the late evening, but that's really the only rain chance. Most of us do remain entirely dry. Sunday, 73, first day of fall, partly sunny. Those of you have any plans outdoors this weekend, it's not too bad of a weekend for central New York standards. Talking about that fall foliage report, again, this weekend, midpoints for most of the North Country, Adirondack area, then parts of the southern valleys, highest elevations in northern Otsego County, eastern Otsego County, heading into Schoharie County. The rest of central New York seeing some color, but it is muted. Some of the folks around the area are reporting muted colors. I'm going to explain how trees get the changing colors. So with cooler weather, the tree's chlorophyll breaks down. That's the chemical that absorbs sunlight. That's the thing that gives the leaves a green color. A few other chemicals you can see here. Obviously, I'm not too well versed in these types of chemicals here, but the main thing is bright colors are more likely when late summer is dry and autumn has a sunny, overall sunny trend and cool nights. Now, last year we saw lots of vibrant colors. This year, I think the main difference is it's been a warm September and not nearly as cool nights as what we had last year. Bigger picture, low pressure off the coast, cold front approaching. We have this sliver of high pressure will do its best to keep things dry here in central New York for the entire weekend. And as you can see here in the Skycast, we got lots of sun today, great outdoor weather. Tonight, clear skies, lows falling down into the low 60s, upper 50s. For your Saturday, partly sunny with a few clouds in the sky. And you can see here an isolated shower here and there. That front tries to move in, but it just can't quite make it through most of central New York. So an isolated sprinkler shower possible, but that's really about it. Then for Sunday, looking a bit more dry with more sunshine and temperatures a little cooler in the low 70s. A better shot for rain next week, and as far as what I can see on the latest trends, it's not looking to be a washout Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's just inconsistencies with when the rain arrives. So we're just leaving it unsettled Monday through Wednesday, but you could see maybe an icon change to partly cloudy or mostly cloudy as we get more data this weekend.
I think this would be the first time that it could rain and people would be happy to see it because we've just been so dry.
Yeah, I mean, even overnight rain showers, give me a day of rain. You know, we need rain, but
yeah, we do.
I do enjoy the sun we've been having. So.
Yeah, same here. All right, thank you very much, Eric. We're just 46 days away from Election Day. Good afternoon once again, and thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
So the answer to the question, how long has it actually been since it's last rained? Yeah, 10 days, and that ties a record, doesn't it?
Ties a record. Well, now we're approaching 11 days, too,
yeah.
which I don't think we're almost certain we're going to see any rain today,
yeah.
bumping up to 11. Now, keep in mind, this record is since 2007 when
so not
records moved to Griffiths. So, you know, it's a bit more difficult to get research regarding precipitation values beyond that because it's all different data. But what I can tell you right now is with this dry stretch, it's producing some muted fall colors in parts of the area reported by some of our sky watchers, especially up in the North Country. And I'm still doing digging right now, guys, because there's so much that goes into fall foliage, colors and everything that sometimes we could have a rainy August, a cool September, and we'll get vibrant colors, or a cool August, rainy September, and we'll get vibrant colors. Mother Nature always doesn't like to play by the rules, especially. But as I'm looking more into it, Again, I think it's the fact that we had a cool start to the month followed by a heat wave, if you can call it a heat wave compared to September standards. And last year we had vibrant colors. We had almost the opposite, a warm start with a cool stretch following that, which is what trees definitely do like in order to produce vibrant colors. But right now we're enjoying the sunshine. It's 75 across much of the Mohawk Valley, a little cooler in the higher elevations and dry. Typically on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Now, next 12 hours, we've got sunshine turning to clear skies tonight. And again, I'm talking a little bit more about the foliage plus your weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The groundbreaking on construction of the Micron facility in
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Friday is here. It's been absolutely fantastic weather-wise across the board, pretty much for all this week, and a great way to wrap up the work week and the final weekday of summer. Oneonta, a live view outside right now. Some puffy cumulus clouds out in the distance. The foliage in Oneonta, again, not too spectacular. The leaves are just starting to change. But for now, we'll talk about the weather. We'll head to the foliage in just a minute. 75 and sunny, humidity on the humid side. Dew point is 60 degrees. A decent wind from the southeast at 10 miles per hour. And the radar, again, similar sight. It's dry, it's quiet. And we'll mainly see quiet conditions this weekend. Partly sunny Saturday. There's a small chance of an isolated shower as a front approaching us begins to weaken. High is 76. A little cooler for the first day of fall on Sunday, but partly sunny, less of a chance for rain, and a high of 73. If you're heading to look at some fall foliage this weekend, again, we're still roughly in the midpoint for the North Country, most of the Adirondacks, but a lot of central New York still is lacking a whole lot of color. There are pockets here and there, but generally speaking, we haven't quite hit the midpoint just yet. A better shot for that next weekend, as we could see some spots up in the North Country nearing peak fall colors. It's been early changing so far this year in some spots. So I want to explain why leaves change color, because leaves, they have this chemical called chlorophyll, which is the chemical that trees use to absorb sunlight, and it's what gives the leaves a green color. Now, there are other chemicals too that are mainly, I believe, sugars. I'm not a chemist for the most part, but what I can tell you is the bright colors are more likely when summer is dry, late summer is dry, and fall has sunny days and cool nights. And comparing this fall compared to, for example, last year's, we had a very rainy August both months. September, dry as well, but the difference is that last year we saw a warm start followed by cool temperatures, and this year we had a cool start followed by warm temperatures. And last year we had vibrant colors. This year, so far, the foliage reports are muted. Let's hope that changes. I do like a very colorful fall, and our area is well known for that. The bigger picture, we got a low pressure off the coast and a cold front moving in from the west. However, this very small sliver of high pressure will be keeping things mainly dry here locally. But again, today, temperatures in the 70s, warming up, maybe upper 70s, near 80s the max. Then by tomorrow, partly sunny, chance for a spotty shower, but watch how these showers, as they approach the high pressure system, begin to fall apart. So again, your 7-day forecast. We're keeping things dry for the most part, partly sunny Saturday and Sunday. Following that, next week, it's cooling down a little bit with some better shots for rain showers. But again, as I mentioned in the last half hour, it's not expected to be a washout every single day. There's rain chances during those times. We're going to fine-tune which days will be rainiest as we head into the weekend.
All righty. Eric, thank you very much. Sean Combs, a.k.a.
Heading into our weekend with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
The weather continues to stay really nice, and it's going to continue into the weekend. Heading out to high school football, the weather looks great this evening. Temperatures will cool off quickly. We made it into the upper 70s to near 80 today, but as we look ahead, temperatures are going to cool off. We'll be in the 60s here for game time. Sunset nowadays is around 7. We'll be in the mid-60s here by 9 p.m. Mostly clear skies expected. Current temperature is 78 degrees. The dew point 56. It does feel a touch humid, but it's not too bad. We'll cool off pretty quickly here as we head into tonight. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It continues to remain dry across the region. A beautiful weekend ahead. We've got the latest on the fall colors and where to go for the best color this weekend. We're also going to be tracking some much needed rainfall as we look ahead to early next week. Temperatures in the 60s here this evening, mostly sunny skies. Again, a nice weekend ahead. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
A company that provides businesses with
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Another beautiful day. Lots of sunshine, very warm, temperatures in the upper 70s. Let's take a live look in downtown Utica. Temperature of 77, clear skies. We have enjoyed an absolutely beautiful stretch of weather this month of September. This is a stretch of weather. We're on day number 11 of being dry. Partly sunny skies expected on Saturday, a temperature of 76, 73 on Sunday. The nice weather will stick around, although notice it is going to be slightly cooler than what we've been seeing here for the past several days with temperatures in the mid-70s. It's still above average. We're usually in the upper 60s by this point in September, believe it or not. First day of fall is officially kicking off on Sunday. Fall foliage report. We're seeing colors transition. The areas that you see in orange representing the Adirondacks and some of the higher elevations south indicate that there are about the same number of leaves that have turned over that have become colorful versus stayed green. Of course, every location is a little bit different. Some areas you'll see more color change, other areas you see less, but this is the general average. It's going to take at least another week before we start to see peak color emerge in the Adirondacks, and a few more weeks for this to happen in the Mohawk Valley. The International Space Station makes a flyby tonight with clear skies in place. This will be another great evening to catch it. It's a little bit shorter of a flyby, visible for 3 minutes at 8:58. It appears in the northwest, and it's going to be visible about 20 degrees above the horizon. Again, just like last night, you want a good view to the north as it makes a relatively low pass by. The sunset times. Today marks the last time that the sun sets at or after 7 p.m. for the rest of the year. We'll see daylight quickly fading here over the next several weeks. We lose about 3 minutes per day in the month of September. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, a lovely day. Temperatures in the low 80s, upper 70s, 81 degrees in Westerville, Dolgeville 78 across the southern valleys, 76 in Cooperstown, 75 in Oneonta, 79 in Norwich, and 80 degrees in Sherburne. A big dome of high pressure continues to drive our weather. We've got clouds to the west, clouds to the east. We're going to stay pretty quiet here in central New York. Eventually, an area of low pressure will be developing as we head into early next week, and it's going to take a little while for that to arrive here, but it does eventually bring us rain beginning late Monday. Mostly clear tonight, 58 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high temperature of 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine continues through Sunday, even into early Monday before clouds arrive and maybe a shower. Monday's high 68. It is cooler Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the upper 60s, some rain showers around. Nothing too heavy, but something different. It's been almost 2 weeks since we've seen really any weather. We actually could use the rain.
I know you want to see different weather, but we're okay over here.
I'm okay, but I'm worried about my lawn getting kind of dry here.
Could use a little rain.
Yeah.
Just a little. Thanks, Bill. The third Friday, meteorologist Bill Curtis. Oh, yeah, ice cream, baby.
Yeah, we're talking about the ice cream forecast. It's good weather to do that again. Temperatures made it into the mid-70s. You don't have to rush it, though. We will be cooling off this evening. And again, it is going to be a great evening to get out and do that. As we head into Sunday, Sunday marks the first day of fall. And the reason why that's the case is that on Sunday, at around 8:45 o'clock in the morning is the exact moment when the Earth's rays are directly overhead at the equator. So we're at that halfway point between the darkest days of the year and the brightest days of the year, the winter solstice, the summer solstice. And we get about 12 hours of daylight and darkness on the first day of fall. We are going to be seeing the sunset getting earlier and earlier as we move along. And of course, the weather will be getting cooler too. If you're heading out this evening for a walk, it's going to be a nice one. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s this evening, but we do cool off pretty quickly. Tonight's featured dog, Noah from Deerfield. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We got a nice weekend ahead weather-wise. We've got to look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Home stretch to get Children's Miracle Network.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Another beautiful day. It's been 11 days in a row where we haven't had any rainfall, and that is going to continue heading into the weekend. Let's take a live look at Oneonta from our webcam in Hartwick College. 73 degrees, sunshine. It is going to be a beautiful weekend. Temperatures are expected to be in the mid-70s both Saturday and Sunday. A little bit cooler than what we've been experiencing, but still very nice. Partly sunny skies both days. First day of fall officially kicks off on Sunday. The leaves are changing. The latest fall foliage report. Areas in orange, the Adirondacks, higher elevations, are now at midpoint, which means there's a decent amount of color to be seen. Many of us are seeing at least some color across the area, but we're not at peak yet. It's going to take at least another week for those colors to start to emerge. Be interesting to see what the dry weather does to the fall color this year. We've been getting some early reports that the leaves are not quite as bright, but again, we're going to be patient here and see how things play out. The International Space Station flies by at 8:58. Another night to see that with clear skies visible for 3 minutes. You want to have a nice view to the north when this flies by. It makes it pass at about 20 degrees above the horizon. Don't want to be a downer here, but today is the last day the sun sets at 7 o'clock. Yeah, we've been losing daylight quite a bit. And I know many of you have noticed that, but again, we hit this milestone today, and going forward, it will be before 7. It will be after 7 again, but we have to wait until March 9th. That's the day that we switch the clocks again. So enjoy the nice weather, but again, do understand and be aware that we continue to lose daylight very quickly here, about 3 minutes every day. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. Temperatures made it into the upper 70s to near 80 today. Whitesboro 78, Eaton 75, Jeff and Mohawk 76, Skineva 79, Worcester 76, Cooperstown 73, Deb and Hardwick with 71. High pressure continues to drive our weather. We're actually in one of the sunny spots. We've got clouds to the west, clouds to the east. The weather locally dry, and that's generally going to be the case here throughout the weekend. We are going to be watching to the west. A couple of these clouds and sprinkles may try to work into the area late Saturday, but otherwise the weather is expected to stay pretty quiet. Tonight, mostly clear, 58 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, sunshine, a beautiful day. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. First day of fall Sunday, 73. Monday, things start to change. We start out dry, but some showers are expected late in the day, 68. Cool on Tuesday and Wednesday, scattered showers, temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Temperatures near 70 again, looking ahead to Thursday and Friday. We'll be right back.
Forecast tonight, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Another great day, the 11th day in a row where we haven't seen any rainfall. It is going to be a nice one here for high school football. We're looking at temperatures quickly cooling off, heading past sunset. We'll be in the 60s here throughout the course of this evening. So pretty comfortable if you're heading out to a game. Again, expect clear skies. Our current temperature is 77 degrees. We have some humidity in the air, but it's very small. It is going to cool off quickly this evening. We've been spending the last several nights in the 50s. We will be doing that again tonight. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is dry across the area. Our weather headlines. A beautiful weekend is expected. This nice weather is going to continue into Saturday and Sunday. We've got to look at the latest fall foliage report and where to go to see the best color and how much color that you can expect. We're tracking some rain as we head into early next week. Some changes in the weather pattern, too. This evening, temperatures cool off pretty quickly after sunset. We'll be in the 60s to low 70s. Again, we've got to look at that beautiful weekend forecast coming up. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. Tomorrow, for the season premiere.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. This nice weather is going to continue into the weekend. Let's take a live look outside. This is in downtown Utica, temperature of 76, clear skies in place. And again, it's going to stay this way. Slightly cooler over the weekend, more comfortable for many folks. Temperatures in the mid-70s tomorrow, low 70s on Sunday. Partly sunny skies expected both days. Sunday kicks off the first day of fall. Speaking of fall, let's talk about the colors. We are seeing colors, the most a substantial color taking place in this orange section that you can see here in the Adirondacks, the higher elevations. These areas are seeing leaves that are about midpoint turned over. It's going to take a little bit longer to get to peak color here. We're thinking about another week to week and a half for these areas in the higher elevations. The lower spots, we have more time to go, and we'll continue to keep you posted. International Space Station flies by tonight. 8:58 is the time where it begins. It's visible for 3 minutes. You want to look to the north and be in a spot where you don't have a lot of trees or buildings or anything in the way. Get a clear view to the north. 8:58 is when it is expected to fly by. Skies are expected to be clear. Some bad news to pass along. Tonight's sunset is 7 o'clock. That's the last time the sun sets at this time until March 9th. Yeah, we're looking at 6 o'clock sunsets going forward, and we rapidly lose daylight in a month. It's going to be approaching 6 o'clock. We lose about 2 to 3 minutes a day. A lot of it is on the back end. It changes faster in the evenings compared to the mornings, but it's changing on both ends. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is dry. Our sky watchers checking in with the temperatures this evening. A very warm day. Bob and Clinton 79 degrees. Cassville 76. Eric and Inlet 72. Jeff and Mohawk 76. Stewart and Cooperstown 73. And Carroll and Worcester with 76. Big dome of high pressure continues to drive our weather. It's been the story for the past week and a half. It's going to keep clouds to the east as well as to the west. We're kind of in this sun sandwich here. Looking at these clouds to the west to eventually work in, and they will bring us some clouds as we head into the weekend. Early next week is when things really start to change as low pressure approaches from the west. Mostly clear tonight, 58 for the overnight low. Beautiful day tomorrow, partly sunny, 76. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. On Monday is when things start to change. We'll start out sunny, but we'll see some clouds and a few showers late, 68. Showers on Tuesday and Wednesday, cooler temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Showers continue Thursday, but temperatures will be near 70, dry on Friday. We'll be right back.
Artists getting us set for the weekend, and
Yeah.
what a shot this is.
Yeah, it's a great shot of the moon. This was taken yesterday from Cam in West Berlin.
Yeah.
Going to be a nice stretch of weather here heading into the weekend. We've had a lot of nice days in central New York, and if you've liked this weather, you're going to love the weekend. It's going to be pleasant. We're looking at dry conditions. And also, too, as we head into the weekend, it's the first day of fall on Sunday. And the reason why it's the first day of fall is that the sun's rays are going to be directly overhead at the equator. That's how the first day of fall, as well as the first day of spring, is defined. Of course, the sun is traveling south of the equator throughout the rest of the fall season. It'll be over the Tropic of Capricorn as we head into the winter solstice. Weather-wise, we are going to be cooling off over the next several days. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Temperature-wise, we're 61 degrees, clear skies and light winds. Tonight, we're down into the mid to upper 50s under mostly clear skies. Beautiful weekend ahead. I'm going to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A company that provides businesses with natural gas.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Another quiet, pleasant night, and it's comfortable. We're sitting at a temperature of 63 degrees. Our September dry spell continues. We're on day 11 without any rainfall and counting. It's been a while since it's been this dry. It's most similar to a stretch of weather that we had back in 2020, rather, in the month of September. Weather's looking partly sunny here as we head into the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. First day of fall is Sunday. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the fall foliage forecast. Looking at near midpoint for a lot of areas to the north. We are seeing some color coming out. If you want to take a look at the leaves, best place to go is the Adirondacks. They're not completely turned over yet, but you will see a lot of color, especially in the heart of the Adirondacks. The Mohawk Valley, some colors here and there. The leaves are definitely changing. We're just not seeing any significant change. We're still a few weeks away from that, at least for the lower elevations. Goodbye 7 o'clock sunsets. We're not going to see another one until March 9th as the days continue to get shorter. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Pretty quiet weather across central New York, and we're kind of squeezed between two areas of clouds, one to the east, one to the west. We've got an area of high pressure that continues to drive our local weather, and we are going to stay dry here as we get into the weekend. The area of high pressure is still holding strong, and again, things look pretty quiet locally. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the mid-50s. Tomorrow, looking at a mix of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures in the mid-70s, a very pleasant day. Tomorrow night, a few showers are possible moving in from the west. Not going to last very long, and a brief sprinkle is mainly expected. Sunday, clouds give way to sunshine, another beautiful day. High temperatures slightly cooler in the low 70s. Tonight, mostly clear, 58 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, pleasant, comfortable. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Monday starts out dry, some sunshine early. Clouds will arrive late and a few showers, a high of 68. Showers on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Dry weather returns on Friday. We'll be right back.
Now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. You know, with the stretch of weather we've been having, the dryness, no clouds, you've been great for seeing stars.
Yes.
The moon, our eclipse a couple nights ago. Can't complain.
Yeah, we even saw the northern lights early this week. So, yeah, it's been great weather-wise. This picture from Cam in Westmoreland, a little bit past full moon. This was taken yesterday. We're going to have great viewing of the moon tonight. The weather over the weekend is looking great, partly sunny skies. First day of fall is on Sunday. That's when the sun's rays are directly overhead at the equator. It's the halfway point between the winter solstice and the summer solstice, and that takes place on Sunday morning. The weather will eventually cool down too. It's going to be a lot more full like heading into next week. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet. Temperature-wise, we're sitting at 64 degrees, an east wind at 7 miles an hour, and it's going to be a relatively mild night for this time of the year. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Usually we're in the mid-40s. That's the average low, and it's been a while since we've been that cool. But again, we're looking at some nice weather ahead, along with some rain chances. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, a struggling ambulance service in Herkimer County.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look at downtown Utica. Temperature of 62 degrees. Very pleasant conditions. We're continuing to stay dry here. We're on day 11 without any rainfall. We do expect a couple more dry days as we head into the weekend before things start to change. Partly sunny on Saturday, 76 degrees. The first day of fall is expected Sunday. A high temperature of 73. Looks like a very nice weekend. A little bit cooler than what we've been experiencing this week, but again, still looking just as nice. Fall colors are starting to emerge, mainly in the higher elevations. The Adirondacks are getting close to midpoint, which means there's a decent amount of color to be seen, but we're not quite at peak color just yet. I think we're about a week away from seeing peak color in the Adirondacks, but if you want to get an early start to look at some fall colors, that would be the place to go. Last sunset today, 7 o'clock. The last time we see a sunset after 7 will be March 9th. Big dome of high pressure continues to drive our weather, keeping us dry. We've got clouds to the east, clouds to the west. This high pressure system is going to hold strong for the weekend, and it's going to keep us dry across central New York. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low temperature of 58. Tomorrow, a beautiful day, partly sunny, temperatures in the mid-70s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks dry on Sunday, 73. Things start to change next week. Showers arrive late Monday, 68 degrees. Showers, cooler weather Tuesday, Wednesday. Showers continue Thursday, sunshine on Friday. Jason.
Bill, thank you. Up next, it's Sports Express. Stay with us.